Hello everybody and welcome to my guide to how the guild I'm in defeats Infiltrator Johlen. This is the second boss of Greenscale's Blight. It is mainly focused on movement and survival along with some strict DPS checks. Only one tank is needed for this fight and we use only two main healers along with a bard. Everyone else should use their strongest single target DPS roles. The area you fight Infiltrator Johlen in is a square and has a tree in each corner. These trees are important as they show the edges of where people can be standing. When the fight starts, wisps will spawn and fly around the edges. If these touch people, they will put a dot on them that does high damage and will almost certainly kill them. So everybody needs to be inside where the trees are. We have the tank try to keep Johlen as near to the centre as possible. The facing of the boss is not important as Johlen does not have a cleave or any other similar mechanic. For his first phase, he will periodically teleport and drop one of two different types of bomb at his feet. He can drop an explosive bomb, which does damage, stuns you and knocks you back. This is shown by a red circle with 3 rings on the floor and will explode after a short time. The second type is a concussion bomb. This leaves a barrel on the floor and has a red circle round it with only 1 ring. This does a knockback when it explodes. These bombs can be targeted and DPS down, or a pet can be sent to attack them to cause it to explode. When Johlen reaches 75% of his health, he runs to the centre and drops a devastating bomb. This has a large amount of health and needs to be DPS down in about 22 seconds. If it is not destroyed, then when it explodes it will wipe the entire raid. During this phase, Johlen will stealth and randomly stun people. Healers can help with DPS here as there should be no healing needed in this phase. He will drop another of these at 50% of his health and then a final one at 25%. Phase 2 is the same as phase 1 but he will drop more bombs on the floor when he teleports around, plus he will start using his blinding bomb. This is a white glowing ball that floats around and if you are facing it when it explodes you will be dazed for several seconds. This can be a problem if he does it just before devastating bomb, so we have someone call out when he is about 5% away from placing one, slow our DPS and wait for the next blinding bomb to explode before DPSing him down. Phase 3 after the second devastating bomb is the same as the second phase, except he will throw up 2 blinding bombs at a time instead of 1. You will then have the third and final devastating bomb before moving on to phase 4. This is the same as phase 3, but the wisps will move in closer and then back out again, then in closer and so on. People need to stack up as close to the centre as they can for this phase, as the area that is safe can become very small. People need to be stacked so that when Johlen places his bombs on the ground, he puts them all in approximately the same area. This will allow people to move to avoid them safely without having to walk into the wisps. If you are hit by any of the bombs in this phase, the knockback will almost certainly send you into the wisps, which will cause you to get the dot which will kill you. People also need to pay attention to the blinding bomb here, as if they are hit by it, the daze effect can cause them to walk straight into the wisps. For this phase we have healers and a couple of ranged DPS actually stand at the trees around the edges, as these areas also seem to be safe from the wisps themselves. If a bomb gets placed at you at one of these trees, make sure if you try to avoid it to run directly forward towards the centre, or if you can't avoid it, position yourself so that the knockback will just send you into the trees. If your DPS is high enough that they don't need to use the cooldowns and such for the devastating bomb phases, it is advisable to keep your cooldowns for this phase, so to kill him as quickly as possible. As long as you have the DPS to kill the bombs and people are moving correctly, Johlen should be defeatable. Thank you for watching. I've been Zero Override and I wish you good luck in defeating this boss.